Hello and welcome to Cutting Words. I'm Brad Thompson, and today Wizards of the Coast have done it again. They've released another freebie on dndbeyond.com, the recently acquisitioned online tool for Dungeons & Dragons. So on dndbeyond.com they have released the first chapter, chapter 1 of the Journey Through the Radiant Citadel anthology adventure book that is due to come out next month in July. So yeah, the first chapter is now available for free to view online. So without further ado, let's have a look, see what we got in chapter 1. So here is dndbeyond.com. It's on the front page here. We've got the first chapter. Read more. Tell me more. All right, and claim content or view content if you already grabbed it. Here we are. So this is chapter 1 on Journeys Through the Radiant Citadel. So chapter 1 is all about the Radiant Citadel itself, the hub world, the hub location, much like Candlekeep Mysteries, the central location that all the adventures tie to, and then from there you go off and do these standalone adventures and then come back to this hub location for the next adventure. So, let's see what we got. So, the Radiant Citadel is a crystal that's floating in the ethereal plane with a, let's see here, here's a picture of it, with a fossilized snake-like creature that apparently wrapped around the crystal, then died, and since then people have settled and built on this. So around the auroral diamond, mysterious diamond. We should see how many plot hooks they have here in this hub world. Let's see what they got. So yeah, pretty cool. We got a few locations, not that many. What, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Alright, so our diamond, see, massive gemstone, infinite power, lack-of magic runs through the entire city, sees vegetation, Okay, so it's basically powering the whole thing. Okay. Court of Whispers, also in the Aurora Diamond, it's indestructible, and there's apparently a hollowed out location which is the preserve of the ancestors, where little crystal creatures reside, which we'll get to those later. Okay, we've got the Court of Whispers. So this is Whispers, Barda for current knowledge. So heralds, criers, bards, etc. So yeah, info trading location. Cool name, Court of Whispers. And noteworthy examples of people who come here to do business with them is the Harpers from Abiatoral, the main, the Forgotten Realms main setting there. Sigils, Fraternity of Order, and Agents of the Plains, Traveling Gnome, Fixer, Vi. Vi will be very familiar to those who watch Acquisition Incorporated, those live shows. Alright. House of Convalence. Focus on life-giving energies. Okay. It's all about healing. Cleric Hub. And Raise Dead and all those kind of resurrection spells. Cost no material components here. It's just free resurrections here, which is pretty great. So if some player dies mid-adventure, they can come back here. Though it does make, I guess, death pretty easy to fix. So something to think about if you're running adventures in this setting. How easy you want death to be overcome, but it looks like it's pretty cheap and affordable here. As well as healing here, you always get max healing. Wow, what a great place to live. The Keening Gloom. Just beyond the light of the Radiant Citadel rages the keening gloom, a massive ethereal cyclone. Nothing into the cyclone is seen again. So the Radiant Citadel was abandoned for some time and overcome by this etheric storm. But when it was rediscovered, the storm was managed to be the crystals reawakened, and the storm was kind of put off to the side from the city, freeing up the Radiant Citadel to be recolonized, resettled, should I say, and by its founding civilizations there, and with the cyclone off to the side, but they fear the cyclone might come back. What caused it? So that's a, I guess, impending doom hook for the setting. That why was it abandoned in the first place, and will the cyclone come back? Palace of Exile. So adventurers who naturally it was a venturing party that showed up and reoccupied the Radiant Citadel. One of them set up one of the fancier abandoned buildings to be a home for all those without a home. You know, who lost their homeland or whatever, they can come hang out here until they settle down in a new location, be on the Citadel, Radiant Citadel, or back in a different plane, or reclaim your homeland. Cool. Preserve of the Ancestors. So this is where this is location inside the diamond itself, where there is lots of lush vegetation, but also the different gem creatures reside, as well as the amphitheater that serves as a meeting place for Citadel's ruling council, the speakers of the ancestors. So I've got woods and animals and druids here as well. So anyway, these crystal spirits, so spirits from different worlds, mostly the homelands, but also just wandering ethereal spirits, they've reside here, and the major ones are from the homelands, and they've combined to create bigger gemstone creatures. They're kind of running the show here with the approval of, they get the speakers of the ancestors, which is people that vote up, the vote and council run things. Seems to be what's going on there. Alright, the trade discount. So this is controlling the tariffs and trade agreements and everything from different planar places between there and the Citadel. A bit of a trade hub, being a location that's easy to transport to. It's like a port town, because I think I glossed over the transportation out in and out of here, which is there's a way, I'm sure it'll come up in here at some point. I glanced over reading over this just before recording, so it's definitely in here. But there is gems that you can fly in, basically planar travel through back to different planes, and then come to and fro from here. So it's very much a hub world, and because it's a hub world, in game and out of game, it's a hub world. It is a hub for trade, which makes sense. All right, Concord Jewels. This is what I'm talking about. The transportation. That's what I was thinking of. Concord Jewels. So beyond the Radiant Citadel drifted Concord Jewels, which connect the city to its founding civilizations. So each jewel is a building-sized vessel capable of holding hundreds of people and tons of goods, which makes trade fantastic. The jewels take a variety of shapes. Their interiors are similar. So there's these jewels people hop into. There's some seats in there. There's enough space to store a bunch of stuff, and without too much fuss at all, they can just plane shift from Radiant Citadel to their home plane, effectively, and then back again. And here's a list of all the different jewels, known jewels and civilizations. There are several, I think it's 12 unknown ones that have yet to be discovered. So yet the founding civilizations to try to find. So which leaves scope for people to add their own and do whatever with. But yeah, that's one of their, I guess, plot hooks here is there's 12 missing civilizations still to be discovered that were one of the founding civilizations that connect up to this hub world. Alright. So there's rules for controlling the Conquered Jewel, but there are NPCs that are Clavengers that normally drive it anyway. But otherwise it kind of checks to land, embark, and plane shift. Alright. Life in the Citadel itself. So, yes, the City of Immigrants, again, is very much leaning to that whole hub world mentality because it's a hub for, well, different planes, different peoples, a hub for everything. Hub within a hub. So, hub for refugees, so people come here when, their homes are lost, etc. Since the 15 founding civilizations, active citadel, but all are welcome. Some look fine living the deep ethereal disquieting, I'd imagine so. Yeah. Basically it's a melting pot, as it were, of different cultures. Being effectively a hub/port, planar port town. Okay, diplomacy, here we go. So the politics of the city is basically there are speakers that get elected by the people. They're representing each kind of civilization present here. But more speaker roles can be put forward if there's more groups of people that find themselves having a presence here in the Radiant Citadel. And they get appointed by their homeland spirit, gem creature that lives in the center of the crystal there, and they kind of apparently don't get involved, but they kind of monitor things and have opinions. And they vote, and majority passes, but everyone gets a veto to stop a group coming out together. What I've written here, which with a veto, if everyone gets a veto, so yeah, where is it? Consensus. Consensus can compromise might take days or even months. I imagine to reach. Yeah, I imagine so. With everyone getting a veto to go, no, we don't want that. Getting everyone to agree must take forever. But yeah, because they've got everyone gets a veto, so there can't be a clear majority just pushing through everything they want. It's an interesting way of doing it. But yes. It must take, hard majority votes, because it's somewhere in here. Oh well. Law enforcement, justice, public safety and peacekeeping are administered through a variety of councils and organizations designed to specific needs. Investigating non-violent crimes, non-lethal methods of detainment. Theft is uncommon in the city. So no thieves guild or anything here, which is always a classic trope to have. But apparently it's all good here. Rehabilitation and restorative justice is preferred methods of addressing wrongs. Highly trained local guards mobilized to handle the rare instances of violence. So apparently not much violence here either. Citizens are expected to proactively intervene if needed. So people on the street will just jump in. The worst offenders are sentenced to a controversial Janaean punishment, wherein the criminal is subjected to a ritual that prevents them from repeating their crime and then is banished from the city. Now that sounds dodge. Some kind of mind control ritual or something? What's that about? That sounds suspicious. Something sinister going on. That'd be quite cool. But otherwise, apparently it's a peaceful place. Nothing, no real crime. Which is nice utopian. I mean, lack of problems though to fix. It's nice having a few problems around for adventurers to go solve and figure out, but not so much here in Radiant Citadel. That is not an issue. Alright. Let's see. Lifestyle society. Okay. Every citizen is entitled to a basic income. It affords their necessary living dignity and lifestyle. So everyone gets all food, water, etc., space to live. Healing is priced according to one's means. For a without charge. All housing is public, distributed, and administered through the city's councils. Since city resources are limited due to the Citadel's relatively small size and its strange nature, foodstuffs and other materials are carefully conserved. Goods are reused or recycled when possible. Most food is vegetarian and is grown in green spaces throughout the city. Whether served in a home or an eatery, most animal products must be imported and so are subject to high tariffs. Yeah. So again, everything's great at the Radiant Citadel. It's a great place to live. Tariffs and taxation. Taxes are progressive to help reduce the gap between the most affluent and the poorest. High tariffs on imports keep the public coffers full, but speakers lower or remove tariffs for civilizations in trouble. So visitors to the Radiant Citadel pay a toll to enter. Yada yada yada. Rich and poor can instead offer something unique that might be likened to the incarnates, which is those gemstone creatures, such as a lost song, secret tale, rare piece of art, etc. Those who choose the option may present their gift to the Dawn Incarnate of their choice. So Dawn Incarnates, those crystal spirits. So yeah, which animals or plants, they could be plants as well. Speaking of incarnates, here they are here. The keepers of vast wisdom from distant lands. The incarnates are collections of spirits bound within gemstones. Each of the incarnates' component gemstones holds a spirit from the same land on the material plane. These might be nature spirits from a particular place, or the spirits of individuals who once dwelled there. Upon forming an incarnate, manifests a unique personality and identity gestalt of its constituents and their shared background. The greater the number of spirits that make up the incarnate, the broader and deeper both its personality and its knowledge are. Most incarnates are small, but a handful of them of gems that shape of a plant or animal. Least of them originate from spirits of the ethereal plane. They're tiny collections of wayward spirits of similar origin from nowhere else to go. Largest and most influential are those of the 15 founding civilizations collectively known as the Dawn Incarnates, spanning more than a dozen feet in height. These incarnates are composed of thousands of smaller gems of the same type. Each holds caught in a portion of the preserve, such as the amethyst tiger's knoll or the obsidian eagle's eyrie. And they've existed since the creation of the Radiant Citadel. When the Citadel's creators left behind no text, it's believed that their collective wisdom is held by the Dawn Incarnates. The Dawn Incarnates know everything that transpires in the preserve of ancestors, which is why they require the speakers of the ancestors to meet there. While they do not interfere in the day-to-day administration of the city, they hold the speakers responsible to the duties of their office. While Dawn Incarnate has never removed a speaker of the ancestors, it is believed they could do so if displeased. So they kind of de facto, almost like a royalty rulers kind of spirits, like. Yeah, it's interesting. Alright. And there's a bit more about the incarnates there. List of all the incarnates. Speakers of ancestors, so these are the folks that they get voted in by the incarnates. Non-incarnates. Once a speaker of the ancestors is chosen, they hold office for 10 years. At the end of their tenure, they can step down. If they don't, they must face the same selection process again. There's no assurance a speaker will be re-elected, or if they are, the Dawn Incarnates will approve of them. So they get voted in first, and Dawn Incarnate has to approve of them. As failing civilizations are rediscovered, they rejoin at Radiant Citadel. The council expanded, and new speakers gain power equal to their peers. So speakers of the ancestors face incredible challenges in their role. They must maintain internal stability of a large and diverse city, ensure that its people are treated equally and fairly under the law. Their first duty is to Radiant Citadel, which sometimes puts them at odds with the governments of the founding civilizations, particularly in tariff disputes and major crises. Thus far, the Radiant Citadel's policy is to resolutely remain neutral in all conflicts, whether they involve the founding civilizations or otherwise. However, the Citadel seeks to rescue refugees and send humanitarian aid to the limits of its resources. While decisions by speakers are made by simple majority, each speaker has a very powerful veto that prevents them from being marginalized by political alliances. There we go, there's the veto I was talking about earlier. I knew it was there somewhere. Power of speakers. While the Radiant Citadel, each speaker rightfully chosen by the Radiant Citadel's people and the Dawn Incarnates can take an action to exert control over the Concord Jewels in the following ways. They can deactivate all Concord Jewels that are in orbit around Radiant Citadel, preventing the Jewels' controls from functioning and rendering the vessel stranded, which is a pretty powerful thing to do. And no more transport. Speaker who deactivated the Concord Jewels can reactivate the Jewels. The rightful successor of a speaker who deactivated the Concord Jewels can also take this action. Since every speaker has the ability to paralyze trade and major transit to the city, they are forced to find diplomatic resolutions to disagreements, though the use or threat of a veto might prompt furious debates and intense rivalries. Eventually, the speakers for their ancestors find solutions. So yeah, definitely... So yes, definitely how they get things done. I don't know. I guess they're forced to, because they can just wreck each other, I suppose. The politics must be very interesting in the Radiant Citadel. So once a speaker no longer holds office, they lose powers related to their position. If a speaker steps down from the end of their term or dies while in office, all basic necessities in the Radiant Citadel gradually cease to function, unless a suitable replacement for that speaker is elected and approved by the Dawn Incarnates within 30 days. Plants in the Radiant Citadel stop growing while wells run dry and lighting ceases to function. Similarly, a speaker cannot lead the Radiant Citadel for more than 30 days before the city's basic utilities begin to fail. So any of the speakers, something happens to them, we don't get a new one in place within 30 days, just everything stops working for everyone. It's pretty rough. Speakers and ancestors are often celebrated heroes, capable of handling most danger that comes their way, yet they are so vital to the integrated Radiant Citadel they each be as carefully protected, both magically and by contingents of guards, which makes sense if you got that useful. I wonder how they figured that out. They tested that and go, oh, we need to get someone in place. And there is an example speaker here who's secretly an ancient brass dragon. And she was one of the adventurers who rediscovered the place. And they've gone back to using, they're being hit or miss where they use the personality trait ideal bond flaw, not on NPCs. They've gone back to using it here. I'm personally not a big fan of these. I'd rather have just a few, like I like bullet points and things like that, but I don't find these as helpful format for that kind of information on how to roleplay them. Like I'd rather just have a bit of paragraph about them, maybe some bullet points of the key things, but this flowery stuff here, less useful. That's just me. Shield bearers. So these, since the founding shield bearers have led the Radiant Citadel's rescue and relocation missions. So they go off and rescue folks, rescue rangers, off you go. The strict rules of engagement prevent them from impacting local conditions or taking sides in a conflict. Their mandate allows them only to extract those in danger and defend themselves if attacked. They're among the bravest of the Citadel, and heroes who die in service to the shield bearers receive the city's highest honors. So yes, they go off and rescue folk. Oh, the ritual tattoos. That's cool. Okay. And here is the head of them. Used to be a freedom fighter. Now he's one of these shield bearers. and he's taken to drinking as he kind of feels like Citadel should be more involved in sorting out things rather than just rescuing folks. Get more heavily involved, get past their neutrality. Which, yeah, I can see potential there as a plot hook potentially. Driving tensions there. Cool. Citadel's defenses. Yeah, there is. They can make a protective barrier around the coal citadel. They can go some of which are archmages and mages and veterans. They go fight to protect the place, as well as the diamond generates 1,000 feet sunlight from it, which counts as sunlight against vampires, and apparently ethereal plane beings don't like sunlight either. So yeah, it's pretty well defended. Entry Citadel. So most people come in via the Concord jewels that fly in or plane shift in, but otherwise people return across the ethereal plane and find the place. There's that docking zone, which is the tongue of the snake basically, and they got chicken guards with a helmet of telepathy, which, hot damn, I can see players trying to nick one of those. So good. Anyway, legends and lore. So it's about rediscovering a place, and about theorizing the origin of the Citadel. But the Dawn Incarnates, the crystal spirits there that reside within the crystal, but cagey, and don't want to tell what's really going on. But yes, there's rumours that it's quite interesting. Some scholars saying the Radiant Citadel's origins posit the Citadel as a relic from the mythic First World. It was a vital centre of diplomacy between great cultures before the cataclysm shattered that world. For those who are familiar with the Fizzbands book, they talk about the First World there, that first world of dragons. Others speculate that it was a fortress, a refuge, or even a weapon in a war that transpired in the last days of the First World. Thus far, the Dawn Incarnates had declined to answer scholars' questions on the subject, which I see inconsistency here on the First World lore. They're carrying it through, which is cool. Alright, and so here's some built-in adventure hooks. So a revolutionary from San Catalan tries to hire the party in the Court of Whispers to uncover the plot of a corrupt council member in their homeland. So the adventure The Fiend of Hollow Minds to be one of the other chapters. The committee that oversees the trade Discal asks the party to negotiate from Atash, the angelic ruler of Ankaran Sangar, for increased trade with the Radiant Citadel. So the adventure Shadow of the Sun. The Dawn Incarnate of Atagua declares it is willing to reveal the location of one of the missing civilizations if the characters prevent an alien evil from encroaching on Atagua. See the adventure Orchids of the Invisible Mountain. The Keen Gloom edges toward the Radiant Citadel. That's that cyclone. Speakers of the Ancestors hire the characters to find out what is causing cyclones approach and reverse it. No actual adventure for that one. Okay. Surprise. These ones that reference other chapters, the hook's not in the start of those chapters. Is this a secondary hook or double up? Depending on how the other chapters are worded, this box feels almost redundant. But yeah. But nice to have more adventures focused in the Citadel itself. Using the Citadel, so just about how you reach it, how it connects up to your home game. Use the Concord Jewels, discover a Concord Jewel in your campaign, and then you can ride it off to this to connect up with the Citadel here, and then suddenly, bang, you're now in this hub world and doing this hub location adventures. Yeah, and that's it. So that is real today. Haha. So it's coming out in July. That is the Radiant Citadel. That's the first chapter. Radiant Citadel. So yeah, it's a hub world. That's what it says on the tin. There it is there. and I feel like it wasn't. I guess it depends what you want from Hub World. I mean, it's definitely set up well, I guess, mechanically, and with everything one would need for a Hub World. And I guess there's not any too many issues there in the Hub World itself to make players want to hang around to solve problems in the Radiant Citadel, since Radiant Citadel seems to have no problems, really, apart from, I guess, the impending Doom storm next door. But otherwise, the Citadel itself seems like a paradise. Why would you want to leave? And so, yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe, I don't know, just, I feel, I do like having very human problems and around like crime or Thieves Guild's an easy one. Todd romance affairs, different spies, politics, that sort of thing. It doesn't seem to be as that much going on. Conflicting factions here. All seems pretty great. There's no real issues, no man to rage against or overcome or sort out here. It seems pretty straightforward, which is fine. I mean, doesn't have to have all that, but yeah, those are things I like in a hub, and also in a setting, should I say, as well as ongoing, I guess, events or like holidays or something like that. Just kind of things to help inspire different timed events. Oh, you come back from this adventure and hey, there's this event going on right now because it happens every year, this event, which might be more because I believe there's going to be gazetteers on some of the civilizations in the book, so they might contain some of that, which makes sense why some different civilizations live here. So it'll be different cultural events which could potentially transplant over into the Radiant Citadel too. So maybe there's some of that going on. But I feel like events like that definitely breathe more life into a location. But yeah, that's it. That's the Radiant Citadel. That's chapter 1. I'm interested to see what they do with the other chapters of the book. Being, I believe most of the adventures are in different locations, different settings. And so we'll see how much they fit in, because if you're trying to fit, you've got 13 adventures in this book, and if most of them are in a different location, maybe even all of them are in a different location, try to fit in the description of the location and the setting and the culture and all that, as well as an adventure and that limited page count, I'm a little concerned they might run out of space to have a lot of depth there. But we'll see. I have hopes that they'll fit it all in. So we'll find out when it comes out in July. So July, so in a month's time, they'll be out. But yeah, so right now you can check out chapter 1. That's chapter 1 of the Radiant Citadel on dndbeyond.com if you want to have a closer look yourself there. All right. If you like these videos, please consider subscribing. It really helps the channel, and I very much appreciate it. Otherwise, until next time, I'm Brad Thompson, and this has been Cutting Words. See ya.